Okay, well, welcome to Smart Gear Remodeling, the only place on the internet where you get your master's degree in home improvement. I'm your host, Master Carpenter Don, and today we're working on Justin's house. Hey, Justin?
Yeah.
We're going to be working on his basement. We're going to finish his basement, and Justin's actually going to have kind of a unique basement because we're going to frame part of the basement in with wood studs and part of it with metal studs. So let's get started.
All right.
That's good. Okay, one of the first steps we're going to do is we're going to insulate the wall. So you can see Justin is putting some rigid insulation on the wall. And he's going to glue it on, and he's going to keep it in place by putting some nails in. Here is, I have a metal stud and a track. And we're using 2 3/8 studs and track. Here's the track right here, and then here's the studs. When you're cutting the studs, when you cut the studs off, what you want to do is square a line across the back side here, and then cut towards that line. And as you cut it, you want to cut it on a little bit of an angle, like this. And then also you want to angle it up this way on the back, around it on the back side. You see how it's cut rounded right there? And the reason is that when you go to put your piece of stud into your track, when you slide it in there, that the front part of it is going all the way down to the bottom, but the center is not going to be catching on anything like if you have if that's where your nail is, if there's a bump, if there's something there, that makes the stud go all the way down into the slot, and also it allows the stud to go back and forth. Now, if you leave this, don't cut it on an angle. The stud can be too long and come out of the track. So that's how you want to, when you're cutting your studs, again, you cut it with a slight curve, and then you're going to cut on an angle. And I'll demonstrate for you on how to cut it. And I'm going to use, WIS snips, aviation snips, and these are the M3, which are straight cutters. So you can get 3 different types. They're left-handed, right-handed, and straights. And I find straights are the best ones to use because they're most versatile of the type of snips that you can get. So yeah, I think I put a mark on here somewhere. Okay, so as I'm cutting this stud off, I have a mark on here, right here, that I'm going to cut to. So I'm going to cut the side towards that mark on a little bit of an angle, and cut the bottom side again on a little bit of an angle. Let's see here. Camera here. Cut to that mark. Of course, I want to make sure it's square. And then what I do is, after I have cut through it, I bend it like this, and then I cut on a slight semicircle on as I cut it out. This allows, instead of kind of cutting straight through, you cut it on a slight semicircle. I don't know if you can see that on camera. All right. Just break up that little piece there. Oops. So again, so you see my stud again is cut with a semicircle. Okay, and that's how your stud is cut. Go ahead. Okay, what we're doing now is we have our top plate installed up there, and I'm a bit old-fashioned using a plumb bob to plumb down from the top plate down to the bottom plate. And we're going to put a mark on the floor so we know the wall is going to be perfectly plumb. Go ahead, Jesse, go ahead and mark it. Okay, after we got the top plate and bottom plate secure, now we're cutting our studs and screwing them in place using a screw gun and tappets or little screws, 1/4-inch screws, framing screws. And also you notice that that Justin is using vice grips. These are special vice grips used for framing. Sticking the stud in there. And he's already got his layout on the top header piece on the track, so he knows it's 16 inches on center. And getting in spot. Then he's going to take his little vice grips and clamp them on so that the stud will stay secure as he's screwing it. And if you're not familiar with a screw gun is not a drill. It looks like a drill, but it has a screw bit in it with a clutch mechanism. So when you pull the trigger, the motor turns, but the bit will not turn until you press on it. And the clutch mechanism engages, and the screw will go in. Again, we'll see down here. I want to show you how I have the corner cut for doing metal studs. Is that this line right here is going to run all the way through, and you can see my tracks, they overlap, and there's a nail in the floor right behind this stud here. And there's a space right here to allow the drywall to run past the line of this wall here. So this drywall will run inside the wall here, and then after that is screwed onto this stud here, then you throw another stud on top of it on the outside like this, and then you're going to screw through here, and then you'll have a nice tight corner. So this is how you do corners for drywall and metal. And now I'm showing you how the window is framed in. And what we have is we have a piece of track right here, and we cut like a 3-inch piece that we bend up right here, and then screw it to the stud. And then it's the same thing on the other side. And now I can just measure from my other stud way over here, 16 inches, to find out where this stud is located for the cripple stud that goes in right here. And on the top, the track is just going to run through, and we're going to put another stud inside this stud with the back down so we can screw here, and then put another stud against the wall here so we can screw the drywall on top of the window. This side will just screw to the stud, and we'll mask nail to the wall here. Same thing on the other side, screw to the stud, nail to the wall. And that's how you do the window. Okay, well that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Remember to visit our website at smartbeavermom.com. And remember, if you're out there working, hey, don't work hard, work smart.